Are you a songwriter? Are you looking to turn your songwriting passion into a full-time gig? Whether you are just at the start of your songwriting journey or a seasoned industry professional, this show is made for you. Welcome to The Songwriter Show, bringing together songwriting news, interviews, and community. Now, welcome your host, Sarantos.
Thank you for tuning in, and welcome back to The Songwriter Show. I'm your host, Sarantos. I'm a solo music artist who's been writing lyrics for as long as I can remember. Words are very important to me, and that's why I'm thrilled to host this show. I believe that every song is a story.
And now, welcome this week's special guest.
Welcome to The Songwriter Show, Angel.
Thank you so much for having me. I so appreciate it.
You're very welcome. We're so excited to have you on today.
Thank you.
Angel has always had a love and passion for singing ever since she was a little girl. Touching the lives of others through her music inspired her to continue her journey for God's glory until the end. The road to success was never easy, but after 20 or more years in the music industry, Angel Sessions has proven she is in it to stay. Well, that's a great story, Angel.
Thank you. It's a very true and very real story. It's a very long journey, but it's very much of a story to tell because it's very true that I have such a passion for what I do. And this is why I've been in it for as long as I have. You know, and mainly for the passion of Christ and for the passion of people. And through my music that touches the lives of so many people.
That's wonderful. You know what I found fascinating is everybody thinks, and while it's true that you have a bunch of 16 to 20-year-olds trying to make it in the music business, I've been fascinated. Obviously, I'm an older artist too, but I've been fascinated how many people between the ages of 30 to 50 are trying to make it in the music business. So it's great to talk to someone who has persevered. I think a lot of people give up way too easy. What would you say to someone who's 18 and trying to get in the music business thinking they're going to make it overnight?
I definitely would tell them that it is very much hard work as far as nothing comes easy, but with perseverance and patience and totally just grinding in what you do, I believe anyone can make it when they believe, first of all, in themselves and believe in your craft. But there is work that needs to be done. And first of all, you have to learn the business. And with social media and also with the internet, there is a lot of information out there. And the industry is forever evolving itself. It's always changing. So you have to kind of keep up with the industry, keep up with time, keep up with what's current, what's going on. I'm not saying being a follower, being a follower of others as far as the music is concerned, but it's like learning the business and keeping up with what's happening so that with so many people that are putting their music out, because it's on one hand easy to do because of social media, it makes it simple, it makes it easy. But then you have those millions of fans out there and social media makes it easy to get your music heard, but yet it's not as easy because there's so much noise. I call it noise, meaning the industry is saturated with lots of music online. Right. How do you get your music heard above the rim with all the other music happening? And it takes a lot of learning what to do, which is branding yourself. And that's what I had to learn to do. And that's what I would tell the artists. If they by themselves not knowing how to do it, the internet can definitely teach you because you have to do a lot of research and reading or helping themselves and getting someone to help them in relation to learning how to get on social media, talk to your fans, share your music, first of all. And, you get the fans to be comfortable with you. And I had to learn that with my fans are now comfortable with me, whereas I speak back to them if they message me or in my inbox or just put it out there on blast where everyone else can see what they're saying. I still respond, to them to let them know I'm human just like you are. I'm not big-headed or I think I'm all that. I'm just a person that just loves what I do and love my music, but I love the person that I'm sharing my music with as well, whether I know them or not. I don't do this for myself. It means nothing to just to do this for myself. I do this for Christ and I do this for the people. So this is what I would tell the person, are they in it for the reason of because they think they want to be famous and successful? Are they in it for the music because they love what they do and they want to have something they want to share with the world? They have to decide that.
That's a great point. Tell me a little bit, what do you think the songwriter is faced with today that he wasn't faced with 10 years ago?
10 years ago, I think even though the music industry was still kind of each time years changing and evolving itself, it still was about the music. And today the music just seems to be not as where it used to be, in my opinion. It just depends on the individual because there's so many great singers. I mean, I'm just discovering so many great artists out there. So many. And I never want to knock anyone who is creative in what they do as far as writing their own songs. It just depends on the individual. When they hear a song, some may like what they hear, some may not. I know that when it comes to my music, everyone may not like what they hear. And if they don't, then I say maybe it's not for them. So hopefully it'll be for those who are listening, those who do like what they hear. Because there are many who are in search of, because I do urban gospel music, are in search of wanting to know more about God and wanted to be happy and be at peace with the world we live in, with so much sadness and things that are just happening. They want to escape, and they want to just be free. And through music, you can do that.
Do you feel there's this bias against you when you tell people, when you bring up God or say that you're doing urban gospel? Do you think there's a bias?
You mean within myself or other people?
Within other people, do people look at it and say, oh, well, pop is the best thing ever, R&B, and do people kind of frown upon it or not really?
It depends. Not really, as far as I know. I mean, if they do, because I can't see the hearts of men, I don't know. But again, for me, I have to talk about God because he lives inside of me and it's in me to do so. And this is why I do what I do. If without him, I have no reason to do what I do. I'm doing it all in vain. So because of him and his love and the passion that he has drawn me to him and the love he has for me, that's why I love him. This is why I do what I do for the people, because I love the people. And so I try to not to think about, well, the industry standard, well, pop, they say is best, or R&B is best, or hip hop is best. I always say, for me, it's about Christ. And this is what I do, why I do in my music for him.
That's wonderful, Angel. And I can tell you there's a sense of genuineness when you speak, as opposed to, the Oscars are on tonight and there's all these different shows out there. And you can tell sometimes people bring up God, but it's almost like you could tell they're being artificial about it. So I'm very happy to hear you be very genuine, and it's a great motivation.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's because he's real and he lives in me.
Yeah. So what do you do first, lyrics or music, when you songwrite?
Oh, that's a good question. I normally do the lyrics when I have the track. So I wish I could say I play music, but I don't. But I do write, and my vocals is my instrument. So normally what I do is I will get a track from a producer, a co-writer, or a writer of someone who does music, and I will sit for maybe a few days on it and just listen and vibe with it. And of course, pray on it. And sometimes I will even pick up my Bible and just look through the scriptures and say, what may come to mind as far as what subject matter would I want to write about, or what title would I want to call it. It just depends. Sometimes the hook comes first or the verse comes first. Sometimes even the melody comes without the lyrics, and then I'll write the lyrics within the melody. So mainly the music I get first, and then I'll write to it.
I like to ask everybody about scams. How do you avoid scams, or what's the biggest scam you've seen?
That is also a great question, because there's so many out there. As far as because of social media, it can be very difficult, very hard. So many artists have to be careful. I can share a story. Once I had been scammed through a person who said he was a radio personality, and he wanted me to pay him $2,500 to get on these 5 BDS stations. And I had just did some marketing campaign through a reputable, great company. And so, but it just started. So I thought, oh, well, maybe 5 more BDS stations would be great, because that's what I was looking for. Yeah. So, so that I can get paid through, royalties. And needless to say, this person sounded like he was so real and he knew exactly what he was talking about. I asked a lot of questions and I looked him up, did not see him a lot online. So that did leave a question mark. Why do I not see this guy online? Where is he? And, and he put up a fictitious Facebook and gave me a fictitious phone number. So even though I didn't see him, I said, because he sounded so real and he sounded like he knew what he was talking about, I went with it. And however, he asked me to put the money on a green card, not through PayPal or not through my bank. And being naive, I went with it and got scammed.
Yeah.
Nothing came through it. The Facebook got dropped. He dropped that phone number and my money was gone. And I learned a valuable lesson, again, never to do that, because this person went through my website and wrote me and I fell for it. So many artists need to be very careful when people come their way and they want money. Just research them. Make sure that you research them and see, are they visible? Are they online? Are they sincere? Are they real? Do they have a website? And so on and so forth. That was a lesson I had to learn.
That's crazy. I feel for you. I've heard so many stories like that. I've fallen to some stuff myself. And the thing I find that's kind of crazy is you don't really even think the small amounts. So all these guys out there pushing $10, $50, $100, I think people fall for those scams even more.
Yes.
It's crazy in our industry because, we're all gullible a little bit, especially our first couple of years, but it's sad to see that.
It is. It's very, very sad because I care for the artist because I'm an artist myself. So I'm very passionate when it comes to artists. And I hate seeing artists get ripped off. I hate seeing artists when they have such a passion for what they do. There are a lot of great things out there. And of course, you want to invest in yourself because I do it. I invest in myself all the time. I couldn't get as far as I've gotten if I didn't. But I now make sure I check and see exactly what it is I'm doing before I get into it. And I tell the other person to do exactly the same thing so that they won't get ripped off. Because if you, on one hand, don't invest in yourself, don't expect someone else to do it for you. And on the other hand, you do still have to do your research just to make sure, is this company reputable? Are they sincere? Ask questions.
How about the last movie that made you cry?
The movie called Get Out.
Okay. That's up for an Oscar, I believe, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. What's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
The weirdest thing I've ever eaten? Liver.
Liver, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. When I was a kid, I played a lot of soccer and I was a little bit on the skinnier side. So in high school, when I wanted to go out for football, I wanted to weightlift and gain weight. And I heard that if you eat liver, so at one point in my life, I ate liver like every day, like 5 days a week at my dad's restaurant for like 2-3 months. And in retrospect, I was like, what was I doing? Crazy.
I know. Yeah. My mom used to cook that a lot, but as a kid, you had to eat it.
Yeah. Does your family have any secret recipes or any famous recipes?
My mom's a good cake baker and she likes to bake velvet cake.
Okay.
And she's really good at it. And then she likes to put 7-Up in it.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Right. It tastes really good.
Okay. Do you take any current lessons, either vocal lessons or songwriting lessons or anything like that you can share with us?
I have taken vocal lessons for nearly almost 12 years.
Okay.
So it's still embedded in me for everything I've ever learned through Jackie Harrison, who's also a phenomenal vocal training teacher for me, and Judy Davis, who taught Barbra Streisand and so many other people. They were my vocal coach teacher.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
What's the craziest thing one of your teachers ever did? And it could be not just a vocal teacher, but any, teacher in school.
Well, I remember when I was in the 3rd grade, to me, this was crazy, but I guess she had a passion for me. I was in the 3rd grade and I saw this cute little dog in the, locker room in the class. So I took the doll and I put the doll in my backpack. But then in my heart, I said, that's not right to do. I better not do that. She must have saw me do it. Yeah. So I took the doll and put it back out and put it on the floor. And then on my way home, getting ready to go home, I got my backpack and I looked in my bag. I said, wait a minute, didn't I just take this doll out? And then I looked at my teacher. She smiled. She said, I know you wanted it, so I'm giving it to you.
Oh, that was sweet.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. One last question before we listen to your song. You're running for president of the United States. What's your campaign song? Get Up. And it's a song that I wrote. Yeah. Okay. We're now going to hear an excerpt of one of your songs, Angel. What's the title to your song? My latest song is called I Know That You Can, and it's a wonderful, inspirational song because there's just so many people out there that needs encouraging, and encouragement is just so important. A lot of people don't have that surrounding with other people trying to encourage them, and I want this song to do that for them. And I released it November 3rd of 2017, and I'm currently working on the video right now, and I'm just finishing my husband, who is also my videography, is finishing up the last take on it as far as putting it all together. So I'm excited about it and I can't wait to share it with the world. Perfect. Well, let's take a listen now. That's a really cool song, Angel. Tell me something about that song I'm never going to forget.
Well, I like the fact that it says, it's been a long time and I know it's depressing. You got to put your mind on the Lord. No stressing. I want to let you know that you can. You got to get it, know that you can. You know, and then I say, I believe that it's in you and I don't want to see you down because it's in you. So get up, don't be down, have your face to the ground. You can. I really want that to stick and stay with someone when they hear those lyrics.
Even you saying it to me, can, it's like stick it in my head now. So I think that melody would be pretty cool.
Yes.
All right, Angel, where can listeners find more information about you and where can they purchase your music?
They can purchase my music on Amazon, iTunes, Google Play, and all where music is sold and streaming, such as Spotify, Tidal, and many other places. My website is www.angelsessions.com. And I'm also one of the founders of Atlas Elite Entertainment. That is our label/film company. And that is www.atlaseliteentertainment.com. And we're just very excited also because we just launched our award show, which is the first annual Atlas Elite Entertainment Music Awards. And so you can find that on atlaseliteentertainment.com. Just look at the top and then click on the award show and then all the information should be there. We have an 11-minute presentation and they can watch. So that's for all the artists out there because I think there's so many great artists that needs their music to be recognized.
Yeah, very cool. Thank you, Angel, so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate you.
You're very welcome. To listeners who may be artists, if you wish to be on the Songwriter Show, I invite you to submit the interview request form at songwritershow.com or email me at sarantos@songwritershow.com. Thank you for listening. I hope your own unique story gets heard around the world. My name is Sarantos. Please join us next time to hear other amazing artists share their fascinating behind-the-scenes stories right here at The Songwriter Show.
Thank you for listening to The Songwriter Show. To keep the momentum going, head over to www.songwritershow.com and join our free music community of artists, songwriters, and producers. That's www.songwritershow.com.